Good afternoon. Welcome to our next edition, our second edition actually of Ask the GM here on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Michael Lause, General Manager of the Dayton Silverbacks. We have a great boatload of questions this week, so I want to get right to them. Number one, this one comes from David McLean. The first one we have is, when will tryouts be announced? Very good question. We're actually going to be, once we get into the fact of hiring our head coach, which we hopefully will have done within the next 2 weeks, those schedule would be announced. Tentatively, right now we have a tryout weekend scheduled in October, tentatively one in November, and one also in December, which are basically, it's not like a recurring thing. It's just more or less 3 separate tryouts that we're looking at. And then once the head coach comes in, we'll put those out on the website and also on the Facebook and Twitter page as well. So another question actually from Dave, just so I make sure I get it correctly. Will Chris Respis be back? The intent is, yes, we're trying to bring Chris back. Chris is obviously a tremendous player. Chris is obviously the CIFL Defensive Player of the Year, and our intent is to bring him back. And initial talkings with Chris, he's still heavily involved in our community outreach program and has made several appearances for us. And it is our fullest intent to bring him back, and at least initial talkings with Chris, basically have him on board for 2012 here and coming to play with us. So I can't really speak as far as a contract yet because we don't have one. But our 100% intent is to bring Chris back. He's a tremendous asset to this program, and our intent is to have him back. So hopefully that'll answer that. And then we also have another one from David. Actually, will you be on radio again, game-wise? Right now we have 2 contracts on the table right now, and we are discussing those options, but our intent is to do something similar to what we did last year, as far as having radio both home and away games, and getting that ironed out. As far as, but the format is looking to be the same, and doing that, and we are weighing as many options that are on the table. But right now we do have 2 contracts on the table that we're weighing, and hopefully we'll be able to make an announcement about that very, very soon. So stay tuned for that. Next question actually comes from Matt Wilson, and the question is, who are the teams in the CIFL? Right now, as of our league meetings last week, we do have a letter of intent from one other team, but we have 5 firm commitments from 5 teams total, including ourselves, into the CIFL for 2012. Not only ourselves, but Indianapolis will be back as the enforcers. The Port Huron franchise is going to be coming back in a different name with a different ownership group and a different name. Their intent is to come back as the Port Huron Patriots with a new ownership group. It's a very, very nice couple that their intent is to bring it back into McMorran Arena and basically continue off of the tremendous fan support that they have up in Port Huron. And also the Chicago Knights, their intent is to also be back. We're hoping to have an announcement here within the next week or 2 of an additional team, and then also some more additional teams as things firm up as we get closer to our schedule announced date. Our next question actually comes from Todd Lang. Any new information on other teams? As of right now, I kind of answered that in the last question. Basically, nothing. We have the league is working diligently to trying to find other teams. Right now, we have firm commitments from 5 teams. We have a letter of intent from a 6th team where their paperwork has not been completed yet. As soon as their paperwork is completed, they will be put up on the website as a full-fledged member, and moving forward into 2012. So, but our intent is to at least have a minimum of a 6-team league as we did last year, and hopefully more teams coming in, and those negotiations are still stemming from the CIFL office. And then we do have our last question actually of the day also comes from Todd. And the question was, will Indianapolis be a travel team again? The answer to that is thankfully no, they're not. Actually, they have a letter of intent for their arena. They will be playing in Fishers, Indiana, as of right now, in an arena that's about in between 700 and 1,000 people capacity. That's actually just north of Indianapolis, I believe. Just north of Indianapolis, but right now that's their letter of intent. However, they may have an ability to get into another arena that they have not had anything firm with that yet, so that might end up changing. But as of right now, it's looking very, very promising that where they're going to be at near Indianapolis. But the answer to that question is going to be no. They will not be a travel team anymore. We'll actually be traveling to somewhere near Indianapolis this year when we take on the Enforcers. So we're very happy to have them back. Casey Carter is a tremendous owner who did a lot despite how much they may have gotten beaten last year, and how soundly they gotten beaten sometimes. But they are bringing a very solid structure. They're very sound in business model, and we're very happy to have them in the league. And we're definitely looking forward to the competition that they're going to be bringing. And I will tell you, next year they will be a force to be reckoned with, and it's going to make our job for us coming back in the league that much more difficult. So rest assured of that. They will be ready to go. So thank you very much. That's all the questions I have for this week. Look forward to having more questions, as we'll see you next Friday on our next segment of Ask the GM. This is Michael Lause, Dayton Silverbacks, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.